BeTerrific, official coverage of CES 2017.
Welcome back to your live continuing coverage of CES 2017 here live in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Las Vegas Convention Center, high atop Central Hall on the grand balcony. This is your live official CES coverage on BeTerrific, your official media partner. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us. We're here with the CTA. The CTA is the organization that puts on CES, and I got Justin joining me from the CTA. Justin, this is a wonderful show. 50 years of CES. It used to be called the Consumer Electronics Show. Now it's just CES, because everything has a moniker, an acronym, or just abbreviation. I love CES. I think it's a great show, but my favorite part is Eureka Park. That's where all the innovation is, that's where all the entrepreneurs are, that's where, I mean, there's a lot of energy here, but that's where all the energy is. Tell me how Eureka Park has changed this year.
Walking into Eureka Park every year, you just see the international companies coming. You see companies that you would never think would be at CES. The greatest, the latest technologies there. We have about 600 companies there this year. That's up 100 from last year, and every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We have companies from 33 different countries, and it represents the global technology industry. And such an exciting place to go. You never know what deals might happen. You don't know who's going to blow up next, and you don't know, maybe you'll find a company there that in 3 or 4 years will be in Central Hall and just has the biggest booth in North Hall.
We just walked through North Hall, and it's pretty remarkable. I actually predict that North Hall, when the Riviera part of the convention center opens, you know, they tore down the Riviera, they're going to make that more convention center. North Hall will kind of move over there, and North Hall will become something else, but the autos will be over there, and you'll have maybe what is the largest international auto show in the United States here at CES, and you're starting to see it happen. It's bigger than it was even last year, and it's growing.
And it's not only those companies, like auto companies coming to the show like Toyota and Nissan and whatnot. We have companies like Intel and companies like NVIDIA coming over and showing what they can do with the auto technology and self-driving features. And it's pretty remarkable. And the next thing you know, we're going to show cars, and we're going to show other technologies that will encompass this new rising technology.
It's kind of amazing. The cross-section of technology in automobiles has never been bigger, it's never been stronger, and that's why you see that. I mean, NVIDIA is in a booth and they show off a Tesla, and they've got a new artificial intelligence computer that is in your Tesla. I imagine that's what's driving autopilot that they have for Tesla, I don't know. But you have all the car companies showing off all this technology, and I said, you know, look, I've gone to all these international auto shows for years. Here's something interesting. About 10 years ago, they stopped showing concept, like real concept cars at the auto shows. They showed cars that were at max 5 years away, really, for the most part, 2 or 3 years, and most of the cars are on market now. CES has been the place now for concepts that are far off, or just pure concepts, which are the most exciting cars at auto shows, and then it's also the place to show off the technology that's in your car or is coming in your car, and then you see a lot of the aftermarket stuff and the OEM stuff, so the stuff that JVC Kenwood makes that might be in a McLaren or might be in your Benz here. And you get to see that, you get to see the relationships, you get to see Kicker, you get to see these companies that sell you aftermarket add-ons and solutions. It's really, really a nice show. And I would say, if it gets bigger, and I think it will, it could become almost nicer than some of the other shows. It's almost taking SEMA, the international auto shows, and technology, and combining them into one thing, which is tremendous. And I absolutely love it. Getting back to Eureka Park for a second, though, I love that it's grown. I love what the CTA has decided to do is basically say, okay, you're a startup. We're going to help you get here. We're going to make sure you have a place to be. You're going to get the word out about your product. You're going to meet distributors. You're going to meet buyers, and you'll have the chance to maybe bump into an executive that you need to do business with that you couldn't get on the phone, and show them what you're doing that's amazing. And a lot of deals get done that way. There's a lot of business that happens here at CES. Another aspect that's here for that is the C-suite at the Aria, and then of course you've got the Venetian for the suites there. I think CES is about doing business and making business and across the board.
Correct. It's like walking through the Westgate and going through Aria and going through Sands and going through Eureka Park. You go through there and no booth is quiet. There's always someone in there. There's meetings going on. Every meeting room is filled all the time. There's people doing business, there's people doing interviews, there's people getting the word out on their products, and it's something that you work all year for, and when you see it, it's self-fulfilling. It's a great thing to see out here, especially with companies that have no other way of getting their product out, and they just come to market, they come to CES, they come to Vegas, and they meet the big players, they meet manufacturers, they meet buyers, they meet investors, and you never know. Sometimes you see Mark Cuban walking around the Eureka Park floor, and
looking for his next idea, his next
right.
business to buy, by the way. We've got a 360 camera right here, and I'm going to just move it there. Looking at our Slack chat, Digital Phil, you know what he says? He says, I am right, the concept car stopped going to the international auto shows, the real concepts, years ago, and that now you see things that really more closely resemble what actually comes to market, like the Mustang concept. It became the retro Mustang. Caroline is watching, I believe in the UK, and so is Paul Dixon, and they wanted to know what your favorite part of CES is and what it takes for the CTA to plan and put this together every year. How many people, and realistically, how long you're planning for actually for CES?
So my favorite part of the show, I think, currently is the drones. The drone marketplace is amazing to see it develop from just like recreational drones to now drones that can fit a person in it and automatically fly you around. CTA is based in Washington, D.C., and we are a group of 150 people, and we start planning the day the show ends, and it takes a whole year. And it's blood, sweat, and tears, and we get here, and it's all worth it to see smiles on faces.
I like the idea of the drones that can take people, especially in rescue situations. You think about putting guys in a Coast Guard helicopter in the United States of America, and they got to go risk their lives. Why risk lives when you don't have to, or more lives? And I think that that's something that is really awesome. And then also, transportation-wise, I mean, look, ultimately, a drone that can fly a person is the Jetson car I've been waiting for, probably since CES started in 1967.
Right. And I also, well, I was walking through the drone marketplace yesterday, and I saw a brand new drone that is underwater, and it basically can catch big game fish without you having to sit around in a fishing boat. I mean, unless you enjoy recreational fishing.
You know, I don't know if Kevin's available to do this right now, but we actually can go catch some big game fish ourselves right now. You know what? Should we submerge ourselves, Kevin? We've got some technology packed into our set here, so
okay.
I think
awesome.
You might happen to see some big game fish. Well, maybe not big game, but some fish. Let's get into that submersible. Kevin's going to take care of that. He's working behind the scenes so diligently. He's been booking our guests and producing.
Awesome.
Do you have a favorite, like, I mean, realistically, Eureka Park, then North Hall because of the autos, probably my two favorites. Oh, there we go.
Right.
All right, here we go. We're underwater.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're gonna I promise, I think we're going to see some fish soon. You know, all right, keep your eye on it. Let's see. Here, we're in that drone. We had footage from the drone.
Right.
Now, this is what the drone feels like?
The drone feels just like this, and what's cool about it is that you have a VR headset with it, so you control it with your VR headset with head movements. Exactly.
Yeah, we could be turning around driving this right
exactly.
now. I swear we'll see a fish at some point. Anyway, so what I was saying is my favorite parts, there you go, there's a fish.
There's
Might
one.
Not be a big game, but it looks pretty big here.
Looks pretty big to me.
All right, my favorite part is, definitely, North Hall with the autos, Eureka Park, and the Sands in general. I love Central Hall too, but that's the big companies in the big booths. Is there a hall or an area that's your favorite? It goes on and on and on. C-Suite, Venetian, South Hall.
I think Central is just cool to see because it's like the mainstream companies, the big players, the Samsungs, the Sonys, the Panasonics, and to see what they're doing because not only they're showing like their TVs, their phones, but you also see like household appliances, like a smart washing machine, a TV, or a refrigerator that has Amazon Alexa integrated in it. You can talk to your refrigerators now. You can have a camera in your refrigerator that shows you what you're low on, connects with your smartphone, they talk together. I think the smart home too is really interesting to see how that grows, especially with the big players.
I like how the smart home has become so integrated, it's seamless now. Because you have the great unifier of an Alexa or Google Home, that basically unifies all of these different products. Instead of using 12 different apps, you can say, Alexa, turn on my lights, Alexa, operate my Nest. Just a year ago, we had to go, oh, let me see, what is that? The Nest, which app is that one? Boom. All right, turn up my temperature.
Right.
It's still convenient, but not efficient or productive.
And it's kind of a theme around the show. Everything's becoming connected. So even things you wouldn't think would be at a tech show, like cars, for instance, they're all becoming connected. Your car can be connected to your refrigerator. They can tell you, hey, you're low on orange juice, and give you the fastest route to the grocery store.
Well, and we saw a Genie Can yesterday that it scans your garbage as you put it in the garbage can and then creates a shopping list. But also, to your point, you're a mile or two from home, and it can turn on the heat, or it knows how far you are from home, and it knows you're going home because you're routed on your navigation, and it can turn on your heat, your lights, your lower your blinds, raise your blinds based on time of day, and all sorts of parameters.
Right.
Make your cup of coffee.
Right, and just being able to stand in your house now, and wherever you are, you can just not look at your phone and just say a couple words, and what you want is on.
It's kind of like living in a movie with a personal assistant, even, where you're like, oh, here's my cup of coffee because it's done, and here this is ready, and the blinds are down. It's very interesting.
We're moving towards the Iron Man, yeah.
Mundane tasks that we don't even really want to do. We don't even rent space in our brain for it. If you think about it, sometimes you feel like you lost your wallet or your phone, because once you start putting it in your pocket, you don't even think about that anymore, and you're on 10 different things.
Right.
You're not thinking about it all the way through putting it in your pocket. Your body reacts.
Right.
It's nice to be able to not even have to think about lowering those blinds.
It's really nice, and just seeing the innovations grow, and seeing how much easier life is getting.
How long have you been interested in tech? Your whole life?
My entire life, yes.
What got you into tech?
What got me into tech? As a millennial, I'm a millennial, I've adapted to tech as TVs has changed, as cell phones have changed. I remember my first cell phone was like a big block, right?
You had a big block? You don't look old enough to have a big block.
I had a big block. My parents, I'm only child.
This big block was a Nokia 2160.
It was one of those Nokias, exactly.
That wasn't a big block. The Motorola that was like a boombox with the antenna on top, that was a big block, but okay.
I just remember just sitting there playing, Snake on my phone.
Right.
And then...
That's the big block, okay.
And now, phones are, credit card size, depending on how big your case is or whatnot. But, I mean, it's just something new and exciting. And I've been a big television guy, and I just bought a new television, 4K UHD, and it's a game changer when you actually see the difference in person.
Sure. And then what is your favorite aspect of tech? If you had to pick one category, what's your favorite aspect?
Ooh, that's a good question. Like a category, in general, or like part of my life?
Category.
I just like how it improves my life, how it makes it easier, how there's less things I have to do in the morning now.
Yeah.
There's less things for me to worry about because everything's connected. My phone has everything. So I don't have to do anything. I can just...
And your excuse is you work for the CTA, right? That's
yes.
It's always the perfect excuse. I got to come work for the CTA, so I can make that my excuse.
I'm allowed to be on my phone all the time.
Right. Yes. And then what about your favorite all-time tech product? Favorite all-time product?
Favorite all-time product probably is the first PlayStation that came out.
There you go. PS1.
PS1, my favorite gaming console
what
of all
game?
time. Ooh, let's go with Crash Bandicoot.
There you
OG,
go.
Yeah.
All right. He's Justin. I'm Michael. You're the Terrifics. We'll be back with more continuing coverage here from CES 2017. We are your official media partner of CES 2017, and we're broadcasting here live at the Las Vegas Convention Center and the Sansa Expo. We'll be back right after this.
BeTerrific, official coverage of CES 2017.